In this video, we are going to implement a cursor in MySQL. Okay. So in the previous video, we just saw the introduction, means what is the entire concept of cursor in MySQL. So let's now jump on to the practical since we know the theory. Okay. So what I will do is I'm inside the database programming, and currently it is holding no tables. Okay, so what I will do is I will first create a table. I will say create table test. Let's give it test, and here let's say it will have two columns. First name, let's keep it varchar. Let's give the limit as 50, and let's keep the second as age, which is int. So what I'm doing here is, since it is holding no table, I'm just creating one random table and I will be inputting some sample data. Okay, and this is the table name test, which is consisting two columns, name and age. Okay, so let's create this table. So the table has been created, and now I will just input 3 to 4 values inside it. I will just say insert into table name is test, and let's give the values as, first the column is name, so I will just say Kevin, and then let's give the age as 21. I will just copy it. Okay, copy, and here only I will say insert, or sorry, I will just paste it, and instead of Kevin I will simply say here Vatsal, and instead of 21 let's keep it 25. Let's copy once again. I will just say Suraj, let's keep as 29, and let's keep as Shreyas, and let's keep the age as 30. So what I'm doing, I'm inserting some rows inside this table, okay, so that we can implement this concept cursor. So basically cursor will then iterate through each and every row, and then we can access these values and can perform any operation that we want. So I will just execute this. Okay, I have 4 rows have been inserted. I will just show you. Okay, so as we can see Kevin 21 and so on, the values have been inserted. So now it's the time to implement cursor. So very first step is here, if you are using PHP MyAdmin, here there is an option called delimiter. Okay, so just change it. I will just keep the symbol as dollar. Okay, just keep the symbol as dollar for delimiter, because we will keep this inside a delimiter. So what I will do is I will say delimiter as dollar, and here first we will create a procedure. Okay, sorry, there should not be a semicolon. Okay, now as I have already spoken that we need to create a procedure, okay, and inside that we will be implementing our cursor. So I will just say create procedure. Let's keep the procedure name as proc. Then I will simply say begin, and here I will say end. So basically what I have done, I have first created a delimiter. It is necessary to keep the entire code inside a delimiter. Then we have created a procedure, okay, because without procedure you cannot implement cursor. Then here I have begin, end, and here I will write my code. So what I will do is, very first step is I will just say declare C cursor for select name comma age from test. Okay, so basically what I have done is, firstly I have declared my cursor, because I in the previous video we just saw that first step is to declare the cursor with our query. So my cursor name is C, and for after for I have written my query. So this is my query. I'm just fetching out name and age, okay, from this table. So it will return us the result set, and this cursor will then iterate through each and every row. So this is the first step. Second step is to open the cursor. So I will just say open C. Okay. Now one thing to note. Now what I'm going to do for this video is that, as I said, that we once the cursor starts iterating through the rows, we can just take these values, we can store them inside the variable, and we can perform some operation. But for now, I will just store them inside a variable and I will just print them out. This is what I'm going to do. Okay, so what I will say is, after this opens C, I will just say here, I will just declare some variables here. I will just say declare variable name. So I will just say v underscore name. Let's keep it varchar, and let's keep the length as 50. Then let's declare one more variable to store age. So I will just say variable age. Let's keep it int. Okay, int. So what I'm doing, I have created these two variables. Now in MySQL, this is the way to create a variable. First, make use of the keyword declared, followed by the variable name and its type. Now since it is going to hold names, I have given it as varchar, and this is going to hold an integer, so that's why the type is int. So what I'm going to do is, since it is going to return me a result set that will contain two columns, name and age. So name I will be storing inside this variable, and age will go inside this variable. Actually it should be v underscore age. Okay. Now I will just say here, I will just say, okay, so basically this is how you start a loop. Okay, here you just give the name to this loop and then followed by the keyword loop. Okay, so inside this loop I'm going to fetch. So I will just say fetch fetch cursor into the underscore name, comma the underscore age. So basically what I'm doing is, since first the cursor will be pointing to the first row. So I'm taking the values and I'm storing them inside this variable, and this process will be repeated. So that's why I have kept that inside the loop, because if I don't keep this inside the loop, it won't be executed multiple times. It will be executed only once, but I want that to be repeated for each and every row. So that's why I have kept that inside a loop. And this is a way you define a loop in MySQL. Okay. And one more thing, I forgot to explain you one important concept. Let's say I will just go to here. Okay. And here, let's say if I have four rows, suppose I have four rows. Okay. I will just show you here instead of there. Okay. Now suppose there are four rows which are present in my table, and I'm fetching all the four columns. So what will happen? Initially cursor will point to the first row. Okay, then the loop, since it is inside the loop, then it will point to the second row. Then after that it will point to the third row. After that it will point to the fourth row. Then what will happen? Cursor will point to the next row, but there are no rows. There are only four rows, right? So it will give us an error. The error would be not found exception. Okay, but I don't want that. So in order to prevent this, we will have to implement exceptional handling. Okay, so as soon as it jumps here, means after this row, the script should be terminated. So this is what I want to implement. So what I will do in order to achieve it, very firstly I will declare one variable, declare finished. Okay, this is my variable. The type is integer, and let's keep the default as 0. Okay, So basically what I have done is I have declared one more variable and I have assigned a value as 0 to it. Now inside the loop, what I will do, very firstly, I will check if finished equal to 1, then, okay, and here after opening the cursor, I will just say here declare continue handler not found. Okay, here it should be for not, should be not found set finished equal to 1. Okay, so basically what I'm doing is as soon as it encounters that exception, I'm converting, means I'm changing the value of this variable to 1. So initially its value is 0, and as soon as it encounters that exception, the value will be changed to 1. So inside this loop, I'm just saying if the value of this variable is 1, then just terminate. Okay, so I will just say here leave break. Okay. So basically what I'm saying is if finished is equal to 1, that means that exception condition is encountered, means here the cursor has pointed to the fifth row. Okay, means there are, let's say there are 4 rows and now it is pointing to the fifth row, but there is no such row, right? So it will give us not found exception. So once it has reached that position, just come out of the loop. So that's what I have done here, means leave this loop. This is the name of the loop. Okay, and here I will just say end if, means here my if condition is over. Okay, so inside the loop, first step is I'm checking whether that exception condition is encountered. Okay, and then I'm proceeding here. Okay, now once the values are inside this variable, I will just say here select concat, and here I will say vname comma concat, and here I will simply say hyphen comma v underscore age. Okay, means here I'm just printing out the values inside this variable. Concatenate means I'm just joining. Okay, we know why we use concatenate, to join. So I'm just outputting the value which is stored inside this variable. Okay, and here we are ending our loop as well. Okay, and here I will just say end loop reg. So here my loop is getting over. So this is my loop. Okay, and here I will just say close C. Okay, and here end and dollar. That's all. So this is the code. I will just show you. Okay. So first, basically what I'm doing is I'm just declared a cursor. Okay, and I'm selecting this query. For this query means I'm selecting name and age from this table. Okay, so this is the entire code. Now I will just copy it. Okay, and now let's run this. I will just run it. So let's see what output do we get. Okay, we got some error. So let's see what. At line 8 you have an error in your, okay, check the manual. Okay, so my query has been successfully executed. I will just show you what all mistakes I made. Okay, so here it has given us that the query has been executed. Now I will just show you what all small mistakes that I did. Okay, so this was my query. Actually, this statement should be before this line, open C. Okay, that was one mistake, and I did not put a semicolon after this end if statement. That was my another mistake. And the third mistake was I had put semicolon here, but no need because we are using delimiter. Okay, so these were some mistakes that I did. So this is the correct code now. Okay, now I have already created this cursor. Now what we will do in the next video, we will just see how to use this cursor. Okay, that is what we are going to learn in the next video. Thank you.